What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Critical Overlord here. We're going to be talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer in this video here today, going over the Buffy sequel series pilot that we know is going to be shooting soon for Hulu. Hopefully, it will get a series order, and if it does, they are looking to start shooting that in March. We just found that out this week, and they are assembling a writer's room. Again, found that all out this week from Deadline and other reputable trades. But today, we got something else from Daniel RPK, who has been spot on when it comes to all of the things they've been reporting about this show. So Daniel has given us a description of the pilot episode for Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is in alignment with a lot of the other things I've been sharing with you guys. Keep in mind, I revealed some other names yesterday, but I only bring that up because of the fact that this description would be a semi-confirmation of what I shared yesterday about two specific characters. So you have Nova, a 16-year-old bookworm who discovers she's a vampire slayer in a rebuilt Sunnydale, split between gritty old Sunnydale and upscale new Sunnydale. During Vampire Weekend, a festival celebrating the town's dark past, vampires Jack and Shirley emerge from a construction site, killing a teen and planning a ritual to raise a vampire army at the Cursed Circle. Now, from what I know, Daniel is spot on with this, unless they change things between now and when this series airs. You'll notice a lot of familiar names if you watched my video yesterday. You'll also notice a lot of familiarities with some other stuff I've been talking about, such as the fact that we are going to Sunnydale, which we found out yesterday that is true. And the Vampire Weekend I've been teasing, but I didn't call it Vampire Weekend. I just said a big vampire event. That's in relation to that. I want to acknowledge our young cast really quick, though. I have no idea if they'll ever hear this, but I do hope that you all have the time of your lives while shooting this. Ryan's announcement video with Sarah really touched my heart and brought back so many cherished memories from watching Chosen live back in 2003. We were just watching another Chosen one be called. That was like a really special moment to see that video between her and Sarah earlier this year when that announcement came. The emotion on her face just seems so genuine, and I hope she is able to touch millions of fans, new or old, the way Sarah did with the OG show. We got a photo of all of them together on Sarah Bach's IG recently. You'll recall Sarah Bach was recently announced to be part of this cast. Looks like they are having a lot of fun in the photo. May whatever chemistry they are establishing at this moment off screen translate well on screen. As for the age concerns on them looking too young that I know a lot of people are bringing up, do be mindful of the fact that this series isn't airing this year and likely not next year. The 30th anniversary is in 2027. Disney definitely will want to capitalize on that. Whatever appearance discrepancies you have might not be an issue by the time we get a second season, if we get one, of course. They definitely are going to grow like the OG cast grew during their run. And you might have a situation where the pilot that they're about to shoot isn't even the one that we get when it airs, if the series is ordered to a full season. They could tell them to reshoot the pilot for whatever reason with a couple of changes, and all the characters, of course, the actors, that being, I should say, are older because time has passed between the time they shot the original pilot and the pilot that we actually end up getting. There is a lot that I would like to just point out is still up in the air as it pertains to their ages, and the fact that many people say they just look too young. The show hasn't even aired yet. They're kids. They're going to grow up. They're probably going to end up looking older by the time the show airs. That's always a possibility. Keep that in mind. But as you see in the description that Daniel shared, Jack and Shirley will be the monsters of the week for the pilot. The Vamp Fest I have been hyping is called Vampire Weekend. That you should expect a lot of cosplaying to go on at this event. Someone will be attacked at said event, and I think you know the rest if you've seen Welcome to the Hellmouth a gazillion times like me. Trust me when I say this episode is nostalgic and playing it safe. At least that's what it seems like to me. Beyond this, though, we definitely have to throw in more of our own thing. Jack and Shirley give me Darla and Luke vibes, and we know those two took orders from the master, so who will be the new master here? If you've been listening to me, you know the answer to that, but I want this show to do more than just reheat nachos. You can reheat nachos quite well, I'll give you that, but don't solely be Nostalgia Fest 2027. Also, of course, that ritual curse that's mentioned there sounds a lot like a harvest type situation, so that pilot is going to be a nostalgia fest of Welcome to the Hellmouth and the Harvest. That's just what it feels like. And it could be executed quite well. I don't want to say that in the capacity to make it sound like it's going to be bad. But you just can't reheat nachos for the rest of the season. Or even the rest of the series lifetime if it's eligible to even get a second season, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. I'm being straight up with this next part, but if season 1 is just season 1 of Buffy revisited but done well enough, I'll be fine, and I'm sure a lot of you will be fine. But I don't see myself giving the show high praise beyond just saying, well, at least it was good enough. Going into a potential second season, let's tackle some consequences of Willow's spell. Do introduce other slayers or even a vampire that comes to town looking for some form of justice. Now, what justice is that, mind you? Well, in my mind, I'd like this vampire to be a vampire who was a slayer, but she also never wanted these powers. And the fact that she turned into a vampire is part of some of those motivations as to why she didn't want to have this power. So she's been going around killing other slayers, and Nova is her next target. But she has an army of others with her who also didn't want to be slayers. I think we got a character like that in the comics named Simone, right? But Simone wasn't a vampire. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'd love for season 2 to just completely rip that band-aid off regarding the other side of what Willow did. What about all the women who maybe have been worse off due to these new powers? Let's dive into that right away if season 1 is like a glorified redo of Buffy season 1, which isn't a masterpiece at all. Season 2 is where the show really found its footing. Now, I definitely think that Larkin is going to be connected to Willow because notice the actress has red hair. I don't think that's to just nod at Willow, but it could be, and that's fine. The Allison Hannigan sightings with Sarah recently just convinced me we should expect Rosenbergs to appear and be a part of this narrative. Larkin seems like the type to be related to Willow anyway, who was also a big activist herself. Well, not a big activist, but she was a bit of an activist herself. Plus, Larkin does deliver a few interesting lines in this pilot that made me go, wait a minute, are you a Rosenberg? I'm just throwing that out there. And would it really be that bad for Nova to be Buffy's child? I get the idea is tired due to every other IP doing this at one point or another. But again, like I always say, execution is everything. I'd prefer this be Buffy's niece. That's just me. I don't know about you all. Many of you might prefer that there are no family ties at all. Many of you, of course, I know also prefer that they pull the plug on this show before they even get to shoot the pilot. I get where you're coming from. All I can say is if you're someone who's being negative about the show, I don't have any gripes with you. Your negativity is welcome because I know how it feels when your negativity just feels unwelcome with my coverage of Scream 7. You're not being negative from a place of malice. You're being negative from a place of genuine concern. You love the show and you want to see a revival that lives up to the days of the OG show. I get that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But nevertheless, let's hope that this show is good and that it knocks it out of the park. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comment section below. If you haven't already, of course, make sure you subscribe, turn on post notifications, or never miss a video. In the description, I have links to all my social media accounts. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can message me there, of course. Let me know if there's any movies, news, or reviews you'd like me to cover in the future. And with all that in mind, guys, I will see you in the next video.